and thanks for staying with us. Customs again urge manufacturers to continue to implement government policies. Also on customs support, more commands continue to decorate their officers with their new ranks all over the country. Plus, more report. I am Egeseme Edie. Stay tuned. The custom management has officially explained the recent development in the suspension of the 4% FOB charge on goods imported into the country. Questions were asked by some journalists on how the Nigerian Customs Service will continue to implement government measures. The meeting was convened following the Ministry of Finance directive regarding the temporary suspension of 4% FOB charge. The Customs Controller General said that manufacturers and customs will continue to work together and improve the nation's economic advancement.
Recent developments, particularly that of the Ministries of Finance directive regarding the suspension of the 4% FOB charge, have opened pathways for deeper dialogue between our institutions. While this charge exists as a legal provision under the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, effective implementation requires genuine consultations like the ones we're having today with those that it impacts most directly. This process of consultation, therefore, balances fiscal responsibilities with industrial growth imperatives. Your voices matters, all our manufacturers, and your experience help to shape our understanding of how customs procedure can either enable or constrain manufacturing excellence. The Nigeria Customs Service has consistently supported manufacturing through concrete initiatives that recognize the strategic importance of industrial competitiveness to our national economic objectives. Our support extends to structural trade facilitation improvements. Just a couple of days ago, we concluded the process of developing a comprehensive framework for establishing one-stop shops that will revolutionize how manufacturers interact with customs and other regulatory agencies. This initiative aims to eliminate bureaucratic processes that frustrate legitimate business operations as we continue to maintain robust security and compliance standards. We have also carried out systematic streamlining of checkpoints along our major highways, reducing unnecessary delays that had costs without adding value to revenue generation or our security outcomes. Digital transformations lies at the heart of our trade facilitation strategies. We have investments in systems like the Bodogu platform that provide real-time clearance capabilities, automated risk assessment, and seamless integration with the supply chain system. Technology should eliminate friction in the supply chain. All of these technological initiatives complement our policy frameworks to create comprehensive support for manufacturing sector growth. As we speak here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have commenced the integration of our Bodogu system into the National Single Window Project, which is expected to come on stream in the first quarter of 2026. Our engagement today has reinforced that Nigeria Customs Service and the manufacturing sector share fundamental objectives to support economic growth, job creation, industrial competitiveness, and national prosperity. Our role is to facilitate legitimate trade, as well as to continue to protect our borders and collect appropriate revenues, while your role is to drive industrial production, create employment, and contribute to our nation's economic diversifications. These roles are complementary, and they require this kind of collaboration that we're having to achieve optimal outcomes. So the discussions that we have lined up today show that structured dialogue produces better outcomes than isolated policy development. We have identified specific areas where customs procedures can be refined to support manufacturing efficiency without compromising our regulatory mandate. I want to commit the Nigeria Customs Service that we will continue this dialogue beyond today's meeting through formal consultations that will ensure that your perspectives always inform our policy development processes. Manufacturing drives innovation. It creates jobs. It builds the foundation for economic independence. And we are committed to being your partner in this essential mandate. The overall objective here is to jointly build a customs environment that supports industrial growth and meet our national obligations. The Nigeria of our vision requires this kind of partnership to succeed. And I am confident that today is a continuation of that strengthened collaboration that we have enjoyed and that will benefit our entire economy.
The Customs Boss also said that the importation of raw materials, spare parts, and machineries by manufacturers can apply for pre-release of their consignment to avoid payment of demurrage.
The Nigeria Customs Service and Manufacturers Association of Nigeria held a productive strategic engagement today to strengthen collaboration in support of Nigeria's industrial growth and economic development objectives. This meeting was convened following the Ministry of Finance's directive regarding the temporary suspension of the 4% FOB charge, which provided an opportunity for comprehensive stakeholder consultation as required under the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023. Apart from these issues of 4% FOB, the consultative dialogue provided us an opportunity to review and discuss issues around the operating environment for manufacturing in Nigeria. The exchanges were open, frank, and cordial. Both organizations remain committed to Nigeria's economic transformation through enhanced manufacturing sector performance. The engagement highlighted the need for clear alignment between customs trade facilitation objectives and manufacturing sector development needs, with extensive discussions revealing multiple areas of mutual interest and support mechanisms available to boost manufacturing operations for the overall benefits of the Nigerian economy. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria provided valuable insights into operational challenges faced by the manufacturing sector and identified specific areas where enhanced collaboration could improve industrial competitiveness. Those issues identified include A, the implementation of the 4% FOB as funding for Nigeria Customs Service operations. B, the issue of multiple checkpoints as threats to trade facilitation. C, the use of multiple alerts in the clearance system. And D, the Bodogo platform glitches experienced some months ago. On his own part, the Nigeria Customs Service briefed MAN on the various trade facilitation initiatives undertaken by the service. This includes the Economic Operator Program AEO, Advanced Ruling, and Time Release Study. Nigeria Customs Service, during the dialogue, expressed strong commitments to balancing its revenue generation mandate with innovative trade facilitation measures. And flowing from the discussions which followed the presentation, the following were concrete outcomes of the interaction. A, Nigeria Customs Service announced that following consultations with the Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of Economy, Mr. Wale Edu,
approval has been granted for strategic exemption from 4% FOB charges on the following, amongst others. Roman figure 1, importation of raw materials, spares, and machines by the manufacturers who are beneficiaries of the concessions contained in Chapter 88, Chapters 98 and 99 of the Customs Tariff. Manufacturers who are currently on Chapters 98 and 99 are therefore advised to apply for pre-release of their consignment to avoid payment of demurrage. In addition to this, members of the association, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, who import raw materials, machines, and spares that are not currently beneficiaries of Chapters 98 and 99 are to be onboarded in order to enjoy the exemptions provided in 5.1 above. That is the exemption from 4% FOB. And number 3, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, Nigeria Customs Service, and the Federal Ministry of Finance will work together for the inclusion of manufacturers who are not currently enjoying any benefits from Chapters 98 and 99. An immediate tripartite consultation of the Federal Ministry of Finance, Nigeria Customs Service, and the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria would be held to work out the modalities for expedited onboarding of manufacturers on Chapter 98 and Chapter 99. In the meantime, the 4% FOB payments already made by manufacturers who are yet to be onboarded in Chapters 98 and 99 will be held as credits and be utilized for future customs-related transactions after their onboarding. Government projects, other beneficiaries will be importations that are related to government projects with import duty exemption certificates, HIDEC, and goods that are imported for humanitarian, life-saving, and other related purposes. And finally, and beneficiaries of the Presidential Initiative for Unlocking Healthcare Value Chain. And finally, importations made by commercial airlines for spare parts. Manufacturers Association of Nigeria also commends the Authorized Economic Operator Scheme. Hence, it was agreed that a clear guideline for admission of members will be issued by the Nigeria Customs Service. The gestures of these exemptions present concrete evidence of the service's commitment to supporting critical sectors of the economy as it continues to maintain appropriate revenue collection frameworks. Beyond these exemptions that were announced, discussions also focused on additional trade facilitation initiatives being implemented by the Nigeria Customs Service to support manufacturing operations. These include the development of a one-stop shop framework designed to streamline regulatory processes and eliminate bureaucratic bottlenecks, systematic reduction of unnecessary checkpoints that had costs without corresponding value, and the integration of digital solutions to accelerate legitimate trade processing as well as maintain security standards. The service also outlined technology-driven initiatives aimed at providing real-time clearance capabilities and automated risk assessment systems that reduce compliance costs for legitimate operators. Both organizations also agreed to establish formal consultation mechanisms, ensuring that regular dialogue on policy developments affecting manufacturing operations, including proactive engagement on customs policy changes before implementation, feedback systems allowing real-time assessment of policy impacts, and periodic review meetings to assess progress and identify new collaboration opportunities. The engagement emphasized economic impact considerations, with both organizations committing to support Nigeria's economic diversification objectives through job creation, export promotion, foreign exchange conservation through import substitution, and development of industrial clusters supported by predictable customs environments. Technology partnerships were also identified as critical enablers. The association and the service, and we're able to really agree on some points that will mutually benefit the two entities, that is the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and its members, and the Nigeria Customs Service with the government on the other hand. And after the robust discussion and engagement and consultation, we have come to a position that we'll present to the press, which should be read thereafter. This position aligns with the objectives of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria to ensure that its members will thrive despite the position of the economy, and at the same time align with the objective of the federal government under the Federal Ministry of Finance, particularly with the Nigeria Customs Service. I believe this will really strengthen our relationship. It's going to really make our relationship better off. It will ensure better trade facilitation. While it is not a total win for either party, but I think it's a win-win for the two parties. I will thereafter give the microphone to the Controller General of Customs to give his position on this, and thereafter we'll jointly sign the agreement which we have reached after our long-term consultation and deliberation.
The two bodies agreed to the implementation of the trade development in the nation's economic advancement. Egesame Idinye, AIT News, Lagos. You are watching the program Customs Report.
The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, Federal Operations Unit FOU Zone B, Kaduna, has handed over a massive seizure of donkey bones and skins worth more than 3.94 billion naira to the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRIA. The handover ceremony held on Tuesday, September 30, 2025, at the Zone B headquarters in Kaduna was performed by the Customs Controller Aminu Sule and received by the NESRIA State Coordinator, Mr. Henny Emmanuel. The seizure includes 700 bags of donkey bones valued at 1.86 billion naira and 2,500 pieces of donkey skins valued at 2.07 billion naira. According to officials, the items were intercepted in separate operations donkey skins. Speaking during the ceremony, Comptroller Sule condemned the illegal trade in donkey parts, warning that it constitutes a grave ecological and socio-economic threat to Nigeria. He emphasized that donkeys are essential to rural communities for transportation, farming activities, and livelihoods.
It is with a sense of duty and national pride that I welcome you all to this important handing over ceremony. Today, the Nigerian Customs Service Federal Operation Unit Zone B, Kaduna, formally hands over 700 bags of seized donkey bones to NESRIA, the competent authority in charge of enforcing Nigerian environmental and wildlife protection regulations. The duty paid value of 1,806 million naira. This is a significant milestone in our ongoing fight against illegal wildlife trafficking, which remains a serious threat to biodiversity, national security, and international reputations. Protecting diversity, upholding national and global commitments. Nigeria is blessed with rich and diverse wildlife species. Unfortunately, the increasing exploitation and illegal trade in wildlife, including trafficking of donkeys' parts, poses a grave threat to our ecological heritage. Let me emphasize that donkeys are under threat in many regions due to unsustainable harvesting driven by international demand. Their mass slaughter and export undermine rural livelihood, food security, and ecological balance. Our action today is fully aligned with the national strategy to combat wildlife and forest crime 2022-2026. A federal government policy document that outlines Nigeria's roadmap to detect, disrupt, and deter wildlife. And forest crimes. The strategy promotes interagency coordination, intelligence-led enforcement, and legal reform, all of which are vital to this national cause. Interagency collaboration, a pillar of success. This handover to Nigeria reflects the Nigerian Customs Service unwavering commitment to interagency collaboration as envisaged under the Controller General of Customs 3-point agenda. That is collaboration, consolidation, and innovation. Wildlife trafficking is often linked to international organized crimes, including money laundering, arms smuggling, and drug trafficking. These crimes do not only harm the environment, but threaten national and regional stability. This is why a whole government approach is essential. We will continue to build on this partnership with Nigeria and other key stakeholders to strengthen enforcement capabilities through regular joint trainings, enhance intelligence sharing, streamline case management and prosecution, and improve border surveillance technologies. A call to action, a role of the public. While enforcement agencies remain vigilant, we cannot do it alone. We urge the public to support our efforts by reporting suspicious activities involving wildlife products. Communities, transport operators, warehouse owners, and exporters must understand that ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And illegal wildlife trade carries strict penalties. My conclusion, in handing over the 700 bags of donkey bones to Nigeria today, we affirm the Nigerian Customs Service commitment to enforcing environment laws, protecting endangered species, and preventing Nigeria from being used as a transit point for illegal wildlife trade. Let this act serve as a strong message to traffickers and their networks. Nigeria is not a safe haven for environmental crime. Together with unity of purpose, cooperation, and vigilance, we shall continue to safeguard our national resources for generations yet unborn.
He noted that the successful interception and transfer to Nigeria underscored the value of interagency collaboration in line with the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi's 3-point agenda of collaboration, consolidation, and innovation. The Comptroller further commended his officers and partner agencies for their vigilance and resilience in tracking illegal consignments across the zone. Sule also urged community leaders, transporters, warehouse operators, and traders to play active roles in curbing the menace by reporting suspicious activities linked to wildlife trafficking.
Command in Nigeria has again decorated officers promoted by the management of Nigerian Customs Service to the new ranks. Most of the controller says that the new rank will further improve their working condition and also help them to improve on the nation's revenue generation in their various zones. Just before I round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the management of Nigerian Customs Service has continued to preach to manufacturers all over the country to continue to implement government policies as approved by the management of Nigerian Customs Service. For me, Igiseme Edie, thanks for watching.